Welcome to the Rudick Report. Today is January 18th, 2023. If you are not yet convinced that the dollar's reserve currency status is in jeopardy, then you need to pay attention to today's story, which comes out of oilprice.com. In this story, Charles Kennedy reports that Saudi Arabia, the world's largest crude oil exporter, is open to discussing oil trade settlements in currencies other than the US dollar. The Saudis signal that it could be open to talks about oil trade arranged in non-dollar currencies could be another threat to the current dominance of the US dollar in global oil trade. There are no issues with discussing how we settle our trade arrangements, whether it's in the US dollar, whether it's in the euro, or whether it's in the Saudi Riyal, Al-Jihad told Bloomberg TV. I don't think we are wavering or ruling out any discussion that will help improve the trade around the world. The Saudi Riyal has been pegged to the US dollar for decades, while the Saudi oil exports continue to support the petro system from the 1970s. However, Saudi Arabia is willing to deepen its strategic cooperation in oil trade with China, the world's largest crude oil importer. Last month, China and Saudi Arabia agreed to expand crude oil trade as they upgraded their relations to a strategic partnership during the visit of Chinese President Xi Jinping in the Saudi capital Riyadh. China, for its part, plans to make its own currency, the yuan, more prominent in international oil trade. During a visit to Saudi Arabia last month, Xi Jinping pledged to ramp up efforts to promote the use of the yuan in energy deals, suggesting at a summit in the Saudi capital that the Gulf Cooperation Council countries should make full use of Shanghai Petroleum and Natural Gas Exchange to carry out its trade settlements in the yuan. Make no mistake, the US dollar dominance is coming to an end, and this is causing tensions between nations. And when trade wars like these start, history suggests major wars often follow. If you think about it, the US is already at war right now, but it's economic. These trade actions and central bank sanctions taking place today are the electronic equivalent of a naval blockade. The Federal Reserve Act mandates that the Federal Reserve conduct monetary policy so as to promote effectively the goals of maximum employment, stable prices, and moderate long-term interest rates. Nowhere does the Act give the Fed the right to power to confiscate the reserves of sovereign nations. But that is exactly what the Fed did. In one quick order, the Fed electronically rendered Russia's foreign dollar reserves worthless, or at least unusable for now. The Fed took an unprecedented action on Russia that continues economic warfare and may easily start a currency crisis or something even worse. It does not make sense for countries to avoid US dollar confiscation for exactly this reason. But for now, avoiding dollars is still very difficult in practice, and no other country really wants to stop their export commerce. Countries are taking steps now to change this, and when it happens, it will happen overnight. Thank you for listening. If you find the content useful, please subscribe, and if you're able, please support the channel by visiting our affiliate links. Until next time, this is the Rudick Report.